The biting cold wind of December howled through the streets of San Francisco, tearing through the thin coat of Tom Wilson, making him feel as though the wind was slicing into his skin. At 73 years old, Tom had lived on these streets for the past 5 years, ever since medical bills from treating his wife's cancer had taken all their savings. His wife, Martha, passed away after a long battle with the deadly disease, and Tom could do nothing but watch everything fall apart. Every day, Tom huddled in a corner near Tesla's headquarters, holding a simple cardboard sign that read, "Veteran, any help is appreciated." People passed by in their expensive clothes, their eyes glued to their phones. Tom never blamed them. He had learned long ago that invisibility was a part of life on the streets. But on cold days like these, the indifference of the crowd made his heart ache. The daily scene never changed, except for the rare moments when he met other homeless people, occasionally sharing a bit of food or exchanging a few words. They were all lost souls, just like him, weary in a city full of towering buildings and busy people. This morning, like every day, Tom woke up before dawn, trying to organize the few belongings he had left in his shopping cart. A few torn clothes, an old hat, some dry crackers, and a bottle of water. He looked at his cardboard sign, then gazed up at the shining buildings of Tesla. It was a scene he saw every day. Well-dressed people with expensive leather bags walking by, never stopping. That morning, a strong gust of wind blew through, making the cold feel like it was cutting into his skin. Tom tried to keep warm by curling up in his thin coat, silently wishing that someone would notice him. But he knew that attention only came when someone needed help. Suddenly, he heard a loud noise from the main street. A sleek black car had stopped in the middle of the road, smoke rising from under the hood. A man stepped out of the car, his face scowling, hair messy, and clothes disheveled. Despite his own circumstances, Tom recognized the man instantly. Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, whom he had only ever seen in the news and on television. Tom didn't know why, but in that moment, something inside him urged him to stand up. Despite his aching, old legs, he took slow steps toward Elon, feeling an overwhelming sense of empathy and compassion. Elon Musk stood beside his car, looking quite tense. He stared at the phone screen but found no signal. "God, of all days," he muttered, pacing around the car, then looking up at the sky, almost as if hoping for some sort of miracle. Tom approached, his voice hoarse but warm. "Sorry, I don't mean to bother you, but I noticed your car is broken. I'm an old mechanic. I can take a look and help you out if you'd like." Elon looked up, surprise flashing in his eyes as he saw the impoverished man standing before him. Though there was an immediate sense of hesitation, Elon's gaze shifted from defensiveness to curiosity. "Thank you," he said, his tone slightly annoyed but seeming to acknowledge that help was indeed needed. "I have an important meeting, and my phone has no signal." Tom looked at the car and carefully examined it. The smell of oil and metal filled the air, making him feel like he had traveled back to his old days as a mechanic in the army. His fingers, stiff from arthritis, still remembered every part of the engine. "Your cooling system has a leak." He pointed to the spot that needed fixing. "I can make a temporary repair so you can get to your meeting. It won't be permanent, but it'll get you there." Elon Musk watched Tom work, his face a mixture of surprise and curiosity. Tom pulled a piece of old rubber, a water bottle, and a few simple tools from his cart. Despite his hands trembling from age and illness, he worked with precision and professionalism. Every motion he made was deliberate, reflecting the experience of a seasoned mechanic. After about 20 minutes, Tom stood up, wiping sweat from his forehead. "Try it now," he said, his voice still gentle. Elon pressed the ignition button and was amazed when the engine started smoothly, without any signs of trouble. "Impressive," Elon muttered, glancing at his watch. "Thank you so much. I'm going to be late for my meeting." Elon pulled out his wallet, took out a bill, and handed it to Tom, but Tom immediately shook his head. No need, sir. I just wanted to help. My father always taught me that helping others is the greatest reward. Elon looked at Tom, his eyes seeming to see deeper into him, as if trying to read something beyond the surface. After a moment of silence, Elon spoke again. I can't let you leave without doing something, he said. Let me at least do something to thank you. Tom felt he was doing the right thing by refusing the material help. But Elon wouldn't give up. At least, let me buy you a coffee. Or, if not, I can help you in another way. Tom nodded, not expecting anything big. But when Elon pulled a business card from his wallet, he handed it to Tom and said, Tomorrow, at 9 a.m., go meet Sarah in Tesla's HR department. Meet her. I have an opportunity for you. Tom looked at the card, his gaze confused. Sir, I don't need charity. Tom replied, his voice trembling slightly but still firm. I just wanted to help. Elon smiled gently. This is not charity, Mr. Wilson. This is an opportunity. An opportunity you deserve. Not just for your skills, but for your character. Tom held the business card, his heart filled with anxiety and doubt. But he nodded. Thank you, sir. I will go. The next day, Tom woke up very early, though it wasn't easy for an old, frail man like him. The feeling of anxiety kept him from sleeping soundly. In the dark of the night, he sat up several times, stroking the business card Elon had given him. It felt like a ticket to a world he had never dared to dream of. A world where people didn't turn away, didn't see him as an invisible ghost. An opportunity. Was it real? Could he really change his life? That morning, he used his last few coins to rent a public bathroom. He tried his best to clean himself, though it couldn't entirely erase the smell of living on the streets. Tom put on his least ragged clothes, the only outfit he still had, and stood before the mirror in the public restroom, looking at himself one last time. An old, skinny man, his face full of wrinkles from the passage of time, eyes weary. But then he nodded to himself, as if it were a habit deeply ingrained in his mind. Nothing is impossible, he told himself. At exactly 9 a.m., Tom walked through the doors of Tesla, his first time ever entering such a modern, gleaming building with glass walls and office workers in business attire, bustling around. He felt like he had wandered into a strange new world. Everything around him was so different, so far removed from the streets and the shopping cart he was used to. A receptionist behind the counter looked at Tom with a curious expression before asking, Hello, how can I help you? Tom hesitated for a moment, but regained his composure and handed her the business card Elon had given him. I have an appointment with Sarah. She's in HR. The receptionist checked the information and immediately smiled. Mr. Wilson, we've been informed about you. Please follow me. She led him down bright, spacious hallways and stopped in front of an office door. Sarah will see you now. Sarah was a middle-aged woman, with kind eyes and a bright smile. When Tom entered, she stood up, waved, and invited him to sit down. Hello, Mr. Wilson. We've heard about you from Elon, Sarah said, her voice gentle yet decisive. Thank you for coming. I know you may feel out of place here, but we want to help. Tom didn't speak immediately, simply sitting quietly. He felt the doubts rising within him. He was too used to being considered unworthy by others. I'm not sure what I can do here, he said, his voice a little hoarse. I'm old now. I don't know if I still have the ability to work. Sarah smiled kindly. Elon told me that you not only have skills but also a big heart. We want you to join the Tesla team, especially in the classic car department. Your experience could help us better understand how to repair and maintain our electric vehicles, making them more accessible to traditional mechanics. Tom looked at her, his eyes lighting up as he heard about the job Tesla was offering. But the doubt was still hard to shake off. I don't think I have the strength to start this job. We'll provide temporary housing and health care for you, Sarah continued. You can start slow. We'll support you. We need people like you. with practical experience and stories like yours. Tom took a deep breath. So, I can really work here. His eyes were slightly moist, as if he wanted to cry but couldn't. Yes, Sarah replied, her smile warm. Elon believes in you. So do we. That day, as Tom left the Tesla office, he felt a mix of conflicting emotions. Although this opportunity could be a turning point in his life, he couldn't help but feel anxious. Could he really do it? Would his aging body be able to endure the work? Everything was so new, so unfamiliar. Tom returned to his small rented room, where he would stay temporarily until he got settled. The room wasn't large, but it was clean and comfortable. He stood, gazing at the white wall, his eyes distant. His entire life had been filled with brokenness and failure, and now he didn't dare to dream of success or change. But Elon and Sarah had given him a chance no one had given him in the 5 years since he lost everything. The whole night, he couldn't sleep. In the dark, he thought of Martha, his late wife. She always told him that everything happened for a reason. And now, as things seemed to be changing, Tom wondered if she had been right. Was this fate? Tom started his job at Tesla the following week. As soon as he walked into the factory, a wave of anxiety washed over him. Everything here was different, from the way people dressed to the way they worked. However, his colleagues were all very friendly and eager to help. Tom felt welcomed, even though he was still quite unfamiliar with everything. With the knowledge and experience he had from before, he quickly adapted to the job. He realized that his work wasn't just about repairing cars, but contributing to a revolution as he worked with Tesla's electric vehicles. His creative ideas were warmly received, and people began to recognize the value of an older mechanic like him. Day by day, Tom gradually got used to the work and the new pace of life, although he still felt out of place at times. He could sense the respect from his colleagues and the changes within himself. A month passed, and Tom began to feel like he had truly become a part of Tesla. His creativity had helped improve the maintenance processes for Tesla's classic cars, and he received recognition from the engineers and maintenance team. The months he spent homeless had honed his ability to persevere and be patient, qualities not everyone possesses. Tom realized that it wasn't just the job, but the change in how he saw himself that mattered most. Each passing day, he felt he was doing something worthwhile, something he hadn't felt in a long time. Elon's compassion and kindness had truly transformed his life, and Tom began to believe that sometimes life holds inexplicable miracles. Tom had gradually adapted to his new life at Tesla, but nothing came easy, especially when he faced challenges at work. One of the key tasks Tesla assigned him was to help improve the maintenance system for the classic cars, a job that required both finesse and creativity to combine past experience with modern technology. One morning, Elon Musk called Tom into his office. Tom, we need your help to improve the maintenance system for our first-generation electric cars. These vehicles haven't been maintained much lately, but we still have a number of customers using them. We want to make them easier to repair for traditional mechanics. Can you help with that? Tom looked at Elon and then around the modern office, where everything was sleek and high-tech. The feeling of inadequacy began to rise in him again. I'll do my best, he replied, though he wasn't sure inside. But I'll need some time to get used to this technology. Elon nodded, showing no sign of urgency. We trust you, Tom. Just do it your way. Your creativity and experience are exactly what we need. In the following days, Tom worked tirelessly to research and test solutions for the maintenance system. He began combining traditional tools he had used all his life with the new technologies Tesla applied. The feeling of happiness didn't come from immediate results but from the fact that he felt in control of his work again, as he had when he was a true mechanic. The challenges didn't discourage Tom. He felt the respect and trust from his colleagues, and every time they came to ask for his advice, he felt valuable. He no longer felt invisible among the crowd. Finally, after a month of hard work, Tom came up with an optimized solution for repairing the old cars. His method helped reduce repair time and lowered maintenance costs for customers. When Elon Musk learned the results, he smiled with satisfaction. "I'm very glad I trusted you, Tom. This is an important step not just for Tesla but for mechanics all around the world." With the recognition from Elon and his colleagues, Tom began to emerge as a role model for many in the company. Young engineers and new mechanics often came to Tom for advice on traditional methods and old techniques they had never learned. Tom started to become a mentor, sharing the invaluable knowledge he had accumulated over decades of working in the mechanics industry. One morning, Sarah called Tom into her office. "Tom, we'd like to offer you a new role, not just as a maintenance expert, but as a trainer for the mechanics in the company. We want to build a training program for newcomers and help them understand how to integrate modern technology with traditional repair techniques. We believe you're the perfect person for this." Tom could hardly believe his ears. I'll be doing that?" he asked, his voice choked with emotion. "Yes, we believe you can do it," Sarah replied. "Your career is no longer just about fixing cars. Now, you have the chance to share what you know and inspire the next generation." Tom accepted the offer and began to create his own training program. He frequently held training sessions for new mechanics, sharing his experiences from years of working with classic cars and the challenges he had faced. He also helped them understand that, although technology may change, the spirit of diligence and precision remains the most important aspect of being a mechanic. One late afternoon, as Tom was cleaning up his desk, a senior Tesla employee came looking for him. "Tom, there's someone who wants to meet you," he said, then opened the door for a middle-aged man to walk in. Tom immediately recognized the man as one of Tesla's longtime customers, someone who had bought one of the company's first electric cars. The man looked at Tom and smiled. "Hello. I just wanted to say thank you for your help with maintaining my car. It's been running much better since you made the repairs," he said, shaking Tom's hand sincerely. "For me, this car is more than just a mode of transportation. It's a memory of this company. Thank you for giving me what I needed." Tom felt moved. While he was accustomed to helping others, this heartfelt thanks truly touched him. It reminded him of why he started this work in the first place, to help others, no matter where they were or what circumstances they faced. Time passed, and Tom's life became more stable. He no longer lived on the streets, no longer had to rely on the pity of others to survive. Now, he was a part of Tesla, someone who was valued and recognized. But what made him happiest wasn't the material things he had gained, but the way he could share his experience with others and watch them grow every day. One morning, as he walked down the street in front of Tesla, where he had once sat on the curb with his cardboard sign asking for help, Tom looked around and silently thanked life. He knew he had changed, and his life had changed too, not just because of the job, but because of his persistence, his determination, and the kindness of others. The following year, on the anniversary of the day Tom helped Elon fix his car, he returned to the spot where he had once sat with his cardboard sign asking for money. This time, he wasn't asking for anything. Instead, he brought along granola bars, just like he had always done for the other homeless people he had shared with over the years. Tom sat down by the curb, extending a hand to a homeless man passing by. "Thanks. I don't need anything," the man said, but Tom smiled. "This is just a little kindness from me," he said. "Sometimes, a piece of bread can change someone's day." Tom didn't need to say anything more. His actions spoke for themselves. Kindness always finds its way back to those who deserve it. And for Tom Wilson, he had not only changed his own life, but also brought hope to others. His story was a testament to the power of kindness and perseverance. When a person keeps an open heart, life will always open doors, even when they are at the very edge of despair.